How's it going, YouTube? Crazy weekend of RLCS, a lot of upsets, a lot of surprises, but we're going to start with Europe for the week. Open 4 has officially wrapped up. We had some pretty interesting results, a lot of new faces as well, and in today's video, we're going to break those things down. We're going to go over the rosters, some of the new faces you may not recognize, ones that you should be paying attention to. Some teams actually picked up during this weekend as well by an org you've probably never heard of, because I don't think anybody's heard of them. I think they have like less than 40 followers on Twitter. But that doesn't change the fact that hopefully they're getting paid. So with that in mind, we're going to take a look at all the rosters and go from there. First things first, you know the tried and trues, the NIPs, the K Corp, so on and so forth, but some new faces. Dangerous Esports Club, previously Tokyo Tigers. This is Cash's new team. You then got Dopamine, which is the former Caliente roster. You guys should know that one's K-Dops, tried and true. Smoky Bacon Association is Cash, Matane, Smokes, Arju, whatever iteration that Matane is cooking up. This case, it's Smokes and Compact. Outside of that, BSK is the former No Mercy roster with two up-and-comers with Rust and Mozzarella, both very talented. Pisky is the former Whiskey Drink player. So some excitement about this roster. Two new up-and-comers with potential. Adam Unity, hit and miss. BDS is the one a lot of people are keeping their eyes on, just because these are the three talented that are up-and-comers as well, with Nico, Juke, and Matzer. And then 100%, which is the team that always plays like doo-doo in Swiss, but shows up for double elimination. We'll see if that happens again. These 16 teams are split into two groups of 8 in a double elimination. We're going to focus on Group A and then Group B. In Group A, NIP and K Corp facing off. NIP did beat K Corp in Swiss and brings them to 5. So K Corp continues to be that team and is going to always be that team. But the NIP guys showing that they can hang. They are capable of competing. On the other side, Vitality proven that they had what is, I would say, probably the easiest run ever to make in top 6. Anytime you win through the upper bracket here, you guarantee yourself a higher seed. What is different, again, as a reminder, is these teams no longer play for seeding. They are just given their initial seed. Whoever has the higher initial seed ends up getting that advantage, which puts more weight into Swiss. So, for example, if NIP was to beat K Corp here, then NIP, because they went 3-0 in Swiss, would be the team with the higher seed that would end up getting the #1 overall seed when it comes to the playoffs. That does not happen. K Corp proves, hey, it was a fluke. We're still better. On the other side of things, it's good to see Fast Forward making a top 8. Obviously, this is a team that has been permanently kind of gate-kept to that 9 to 12 spot. They are able to punch through. 100% though, this time it does not pay off. We talk about 100%. Usually, I'm a little let down by them. I think they, while having a lot of potential, they have done some miraculous things historically when it comes to the double elimination to make it into the top 8, top 6 conversations, which shows they're capable. You see them going to game 5 in both their losses. The issue is you can only continue to tiptoe that line so many times before it comes back to bite you. And I've said that in a lot of my previous predictions with 100%. I don't see it. I think there is some things that they do that in the big moments they've been icy and been able to close it out, but not this time. It was too much for them to take advantage of. So they do end up dropping in the 0-2 in the 14 to 16 range. And unfortunately, they're going to have to try back again. What this means, and the reason why we're emphasizing this so much, is for all those other teams that are trying to push up in the rankings, this is huge. This is really good for all those other rosters that are kind of sitting in that 5 to 10 area. It's one team that is completely removed, which allows them to play catch up. Pretty big deal. Outside of that, Fast Forward and NIP, again, in my opinion, K Corp, Vitality, and NIP are all teams in the top 5. K Corp and Vitality are definitely not 5. They are 1-2 in my opinion. This is 1, this is 2. NIP has their moments of ups and downs, but my stock on NIP is actually starting to drop a little bit. We'll see if it ends up being a long-term thing. On the other side, in Group B, unfortunately, I'm covering. I'm going to have to zoom out, which unfortunately spoils the lower side of the bracket. But with Group B, Dignitas and GK. Talk about those matches between GK, Dig, and NIP being the ones to really look forward to. because those are the matches that are going to determine who on earth makes the major. And already off to a big start, GK does take down Dig. Ironically enough, and a little bit of spoilers for my predictions, if you guys saw last week Thursday, I had the inverse happen. I had Dignitas winning and then GK losing, and then the inverse happening in the bracket. Turns out the complete opposite happened, where GK wins and then Dignitas gets revenge. A little bit of a spoiler there. Outside of that, I think these two are always going to be an interesting one. I think Dignitas continues to have really, really tough performances and then really good performances in contrast. It's just, it's so tough to be consistent at a high level when we're talking about teams that are in top 5, top 6 at EU. The big one that I'm paying attention to, though, is Gentlemates. How is Eugen, the young gun coming in, going to make an impact over Radosin? And a lot of people making comparisons to Zen when Zen came in for Vitality. Not flashy mechanics, nothing really crazy, nothing really special. He's reliable, doesn't make mistakes, provides consistent pressure. And realistically, it was the Juicy Seiko show. Those two just really put in work while Eugen gives them a chance to keep putting on offense. Consistent pressure, which is cool to see. So glad to see Mates already having an immediate uptick. The guys on broadcast could not get over their facilities having their, like, they have 4 LED monitors behind them that are all panned together for one big picture, and they weren't symmetrical, and it was driving everybody crazy. If that's the worst thing you got to talk about, not too bad. Mates looking pretty dang solid. And then on the other side, Synergy, a team that did well in Swiss. I think they went 3-0. Yeah, they did go 3-0. Were able to live up to that. Losing to Mates, beating BSK in game 5. Again, if these guys get experiences like this, it's going to be very helpful. But to me, this is a veteran win, even though I think BSK is the better team. Then outside of that, Dignitas barely holding on against JJ Rocks. Game 5 OT, 4-3. That's a scary result for Dig. Dig should never be considering JJ Rocks as real competition. They need to be dominating those teams. To me, that is the duality of Dignitas. They continue to have high highs, low lows. Got to find a way to balance that out. Don't know if it's a pressure and a mental thing or what's going on, but something to clean up. First round of the playoffs on the upside, on the high side, it is Vitality and K Corp. People don't realize that the first day of playoffs, it was sweeps. Everything was a 4-0. Vitality and K Corp to me are your clear 1-2 in the region, and I still think Vitality can play a lot better on LAN. You guys saw me talk about that all last split, that come the major, they're going to be that team because of the way that they play. Some of that's starting to translate back from Birmingham. Vitality to me, like, I know they could play even better than what they're showing. So I don't know what it is. They're boot camping, they're in facilities, so we'll see. On the other side, K Corp made quick work of GK. It was punishing. Like, GK still looks like the best team. They're still perfect. They still don't make mistakes. Like, that team, just chalk it in right now. Like, it is going to be crazy to see them lose in an event. Like, they're going to win worlds. Like, it's just basically how we all feel. K Corp looks inevitable. Maybe that'll be the thumbnail, is Pharaoh as Thanos snapping his finger. I don't know. That actually could be really funny. Maybe we'll actually make that as a thumbnail. Revealing the rest of the bracket. We do have what is NIP trying to go on a run. These are the ones where I thought, you know what, based upon what I've seen of Mates, I do feel that it's going to take Eugen a little bit of time. Apparently not. Right out of the gate, Alpine is not how you say it, is Alpine. Gentlemates Alpine is the ones that are able to get the better of NIP, which is where my stocks are going down. I have concerns that NIP, with that much talent and stuff, they just pale in comparison at times. I don't know what it is. Dignitas did finally start to find their footing, and this is what I talk about, that duality, is they looked really, really rough in Swiss, but then they get into playoff rounds and they just go, hey, get out of our way. I don't know if it's a motivating thing. I don't know if it's a mental thing, but they felt very confident in their first match going into the next day. They did an interview with VP, and he's like, yep, things to improve on, but we're feeling pretty good. And then they, again, against their rival, these are the most important matchups. Like, it is the epitome of we lost the battle, but we won the war type thing. Dignitas so far this split is winning the war. So punching your ticket into top 4, 2 top 4s is basically giving you every tiebreaker advantage when it comes to the major. Because, again, no disrespect to all these teams, I expect K-Corp and Vitality to continue to be in the grand final every single time. Until I don't see that, I'm going to keep picking it. My predictions are going to get boring for everybody who watches EU. These teams are going to continue to be in that grand final. I don't know who else is going to challenge that, but for teams like Dignitas, Mates, NIP, and GK, getting here is huge, especially when you are likely playing each other. This is your top 6. It's wrapped up. There is no other conversation of who is in conversation of who is in the top 6. It is right here, which I think is a very good thing. Some people may find this very, very boring, but it is actually extremely good for Rocket League when your best teams are ending in the top 6 competing against each other. You can have some favorites. Those are the big people on campus that you're trying to beat, while the rest are trying to battle for major spots. That is good. So I'm very happy to see this result as a person who is like talking more so about the business and like what's good for the esport. Having your biggest teams all signed by big organizations all in the fight is very, very good. And then your personal favorites can come out who you want to be biased towards. That's totally fine. But objectively, the further Mates gets, the further K-Corp gets, the better. Vitality, same with the history, and Dignitas, obviously long-term support as well. It's good for the space. So I'm glad to see the Dig Boys get a little bit of revenge on former teammates. But outside of that, pretty crazy stuff across the board. EU looking like EU, man. Probably what I'm gonna call this video. KC's inevitable. I just don't see them losing. They're that good. It is kind of the same old story, but it is a team that I think has really found their footing. They understand that they are all extremely individually talented, and Farah doesn't need to overcoach. Keep them in line, make sure mental's good, make sure that they're practicing, putting in the hours, and they're going to keep winning. So, Jolly's the best player in the world. I don't care what anybody says. That kid is special talent. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Coming up in tomorrow's video, we do have NA recap. We're going to be breaking down round of 16 so you guys can see the early matchups to know who plays who. We'll break that down visually so you guys know how. But outside of that, it's going to do it for today. If you guys enjoy the content, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. See you in the next one. Peace.